Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sean from the Comatose Society podcast, otherwise known as on my other channel, The Blunt Atheist. If you guys like what I do here, you can also check me out at The Blunt Atheist. Also, I'm here with my co-host Brian.
How you doing, guys?
Guys, I figured I know it's going on in the news hot right now. Maybe some people are sick about hearing about it, but I know it's an abundant subject. Otherwise, I guess we're gonna give our 2 cents on the whole Las Vegas shootings strip massacre. I guess just to give my opinions. Right now, because I haven't seen any different evidence. I think it was only one guy. Um, it he could have. I mean, a hotel doesn't check your bags, so yeah, he could have brought all that stuff up to his room. And like I said in my video on the Blunt Atheist, I think it could have very well easily been that this guy was of poor mental health, because unfortunately we kind of have kind of a crisis and a of sorts when it comes to, I would say, mental health in the United States, because it's whether or not you don't want to seek the help because society is going to make you feel bad or look stupid, or your parents or your family or whoever you're with. You're apt to avoid judgment from one of those facets. Either way, whatever you may have it, I think this guy was mentally ill to a point, and I do think he was one of those people that was timid to avoid getting the help. Um, your thoughts?
Well, you know me, it's all a conspiracy theory. No, I mean, it was like we were discussing earlier how that all these people are like, how could one guy get all those weapons up to a room from a vantage point, kill all those people with 800-pound hurricane glass? I'm starting to think the standards of America are lowering for what actually is impressive because, I mean, look, this whole thing is just terrible. I mean, people dying every day. And it's so horrible that this happened. That some guy, whether mentally ill or not, I personally think you can't be mentally stable if you're doing shit like this. I mean, maybe you're not like psychopathic, but then again, maybe you are. Like, but as far as goes as whether it was one person or not, I mean, I believe it was said that there were reports of automatic gunfire. So it just doesn't make sense that people can't believe it's one guy. I mean, who cares how many people it was? I mean, people are always making a bigger deal out of things that we should be focused on. We should be focused on what exactly the crime was committed for. Like, why did this dude do this? Let's figure it out. Let's see if there's people struggling somewhere that need help. But no, now the talk's all about who thinks they're right, and then you can't help but wonder what kind of gun laws are going to be done after this. And of course, I agree gun laws could be a little bit more strict, but I also agree that we don't need to start this whole other war. See, this is going to start a whole other war that's been fought since the frickin' colonial times, and it's how are we going to take guns out of the bad people's hands but let them stay in good people's hands? And you think, well, just more gun laws, or less gun laws, less gun laws. The truth isn't the laws. The truth is the people. The laws aren't going to change anything. It's a Batman and Robin comic, right? Like Robin says, if we don't sell guns in stores, there won't be any more shootings. And Batman has slapped Robin across the face, saying, "You don't sell meth in stores, do ya?" The laws aren't going to help us at all. We're going to have to work with the people. And this guy shooting how many people is a prime example of why you need to start working with people instead of the laws. You know, and you think that laws can just change anything. Write a new law. Write a new law. Yeah, well, the Patriot Act was a bad fucking idea. Okay, the Patriot Act was a terrible fucking idea. But oh no, laws, yes, laws. Laws will solve everything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my view on it is like I don't know. I'm kind of mixed about the whole law thing because you know there's a lot of people that want to be on this train of, well, see, it's tough because America is so gun happy, and the reason I don't think the laws will work is because there's too many Americans that probably wouldn't listen to the laws regardless, or they wouldn't let the laws be put in place. I just can't help but think to a point, yes, the laws could work, because if you look at certain countries, I know, like, say, like Australia or parts of the United Kingdom and stuff like that, they have harsh gun laws, and they work, and the gun crimes are super low there. Crime in general, in certain instances, is super low there. But I guess, to be fair, though, those are places where, like, guns really, you know, they kind of had those policies and that kind of outlook on guns for a long time. So implementing those laws and policies really wasn't that hard. And yeah, I see that being really hard for America because, you know, I mean, it's kind of like a Marilyn Manson song, like, do you love your guns? Do you love your God? Do you love your president? Fuck yeah, you know, I mean, it's all right there in a Marilyn Manson song. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's true. My thing is this, I guess, just from my perspective, like, I've always been for, do you want to have a handgun to protect your family or protect yourself? Cool. Do you want to own a shotgun because you want to go deer hunting? Cool. But what does somebody need with, I mean, right now a semi-automatic rifle is legal. But what do you need with a semi-automatic rifle? You don't. The only thing a semi-automatic rifle is made for is for killing people. You don't go hunting with a semi-automatic rifle. And that's just what bugs me. Like, I don't think there should be laws on, like, certain types of guns per se. Like I said, you want to own a shotgun, you want to own a pistol, cool. I'm right there with you. But a semi-automatic weapon, no, you don't need that to hunt. You don't. That the only thing that's made for is killing. So I think if they were to make a law, I just wish they would make the law towards actually banning semi-automatic rifles.
If you really think about it, even handguns aren't used for hunting. The only thing that are used for hunting are high-powered rifles that shoot one bullet at a time, or shotguns.
Yeah.
Like the bolt lock. Bolt lock high-powered rifles are okay.
Yeah, 50 cal muzzle loader.
50 cal muzzle loaders and bolt action rifles are okay. Well, the old bolt action rifle, because didn't Lee Harvey Oswald use a bolt action rifle to kill certain some?
Yeah, but that was modified.
Yes, it was. And that's all conspiracy theory there too. So, the stricter gun laws that worked, like you said, because they weren't hard to pass, because generally everyone in that area wasn't a citizen understanding enough that you only need a gun to hunt with, and strict gun laws are even okay if all you're trying to do is buy a shotgun from Browning to go hunt a deer. or a duck or a BB gun. You know what I'm saying? Like all these other brands of guns, like the extended mags and all this, that's meant for military. It's like you said, that's high-powered weapons are only made for one thing, and that's to kill as many people as possible with good aim, which is what they're made for. But hunting bullets, they're made just so that we can take what we need. But those laws where those people were okay with them because most of them were probably just either not interested in guns, didn't need them, or were just a bunch of innocent hunters. But now you go somewhere like DC, there's barely any wildlife there. What the fuck could they use anything other than shotguns for? They wouldn't even need shotguns, so they're not in there. And it's like the same thing goes for New York and for Chicago and Detroit and for Miami and Houston and San Francisco and all that. Las Vegas. There's the only reason we have any kind of weapon other than a shotgun is because there's always a need for war somewhere. I might be trailing off because I'm just not sure what the use of any of these guns are for anyway. But what I'm really getting at is it's not easy to change gun laws in places like Detroit or Washington because there's just so much crime there, and you want to put the crime down by restricting the gun laws. No, just take the guns out of their hands. Get the biggest, most expensive, most scientific metal detector you possibly can. Get you some magic metal detector. Go to every fucking home, take all the guns away, and then give them back to those who want to hunt. Just take all the guns away. How hard is it to take just get you a super scientific metal detector? How hard can it be? Like you have ones that can literally, you can put one in front of a house now, it'll go off because there's guns in there. Like, and we can go even more than that. Just get a giant ass super metal detector, take all the guns away, then give them back to the hunters, and then melt all the other ones, turn that metal and build playgrounds out of the metal guns, kind of like we did in The Simpsons. They go down the slide and then bullets go off.
Yeah, I mean, I follow that. I do. I mean, you see, the problem with that though is like, I mean, you'd have these like super hillbilly rednecks that they got, the Don't Tread on Me flag and Confederate flag outside their house, and I don't think they'd let government officials come with their metal detector, and see, that's
they have high-powered rocket launchers behind them, of course,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I think the reason, like, they don't try to do that is, like, I think the government's smart enough to the point that they know, like, there's certain citizens that are armed to the point that, like, they'd probably have to bring in, like, the SWAT team or some kind of special task force just to, like, come and get their guns, and I think they're looking to avoid that.
It was a dumb idea, I'm not denying that. I was kind of just speculating.
Well, no, you got. I mean, your idea is good. Your idea is good in the realm of that. Like, yes, I'm for your overall message. Like, yeah, I'm with you, dude. I wish we could just like take everybody's guns and just fucking melt them all down and get the fuck rid of them and put all that hunk of metal fucking in the bottom of the ocean somewhere and just forget about it. But unfortunately, we have these gun fanatic type motherfuckers that are all like, I live in America, boy. Like, you go take.
Maybe the real problem is we need to get rid of those people. And what is war really about? Is war about satisfying the needs of many or just the needs of the few? I think it's the second one. I think the only reason war exists is for the needs of the few. But if suddenly we had a war that was the people versus those who would oppose them, suddenly it's a real war for real freedom, isn't it? But no one wants to fight that fucking war, do they? When it comes to their front fucking door.
I don't. Okay. But that's the thing.
I'm not pointing at you. I'm pointing at America.
No, I know. No. But that's the thing, though, is like honestly, like I was saying that kind of as a joke, and to a point, it's true. But honestly, I do know quite a few people that they wouldn't actually fit that whole redneck hillbilly stereotype, and they own guns and they like guns. That's the thing, is like there's so many people that own guns and like guns that it does go beyond more than that, just that hillbilly mentality. It really does. And that's why it's like that's why it's it's kind of the unfettered dream that they could go around and round up all the guns with no violence, and we could take them and turn them into a big fucking brick of fucking useless metal, and that's just not going to happen. And that's why I think, like, okay, there should just be laws towards certain guns. And then I think there should just, like, the biggest thing is there should be restrictions. Like, it's just too easy for people to get these. It's like, I think there should be a more stringent policy in place, that, and they need to apply it to everybody, like even the gun shows, because there's certain gun shows, and I've even heard of certain gun shops that'll just you have the money, or you slip them some money, they'll sell you the firearms. And see, what I think needs to happen is that corrupt shit needs to stop. Now, would that mean the corruption is gonna stop for sure? Absolutely not. No, it's not. But at least if they would put those laws into place, I think it would deter people into doing that more.
If you ask me, you have to have a certain number of forms and ID to even get in a gun show. And you can't even go in the building if you have any kind of felony whatsoever. That's how you solve gun show problems. You put cops at the front gate, or every gate, every door to get into the gun show. You have them standing there with, like, okay, you need this form, you need proof of this, you need proof of this, you need 4 forms, you need this, 2 forms of ID, that. Then you can go into the gun show. Oh, and a fee of $400 per person.
Exactly.
What? Yeah, you want to come to the gun show still? Come on. Give me the papers.
Exactly. See, more than just the laws, it's the restrictions, I think. And just
where you charge $100 per bullet. That'll discourage some people too. Hell
yeah. Whoever had shot 50 Cent would have been broke. Oh man, fuck it! I won't even go and shoot 50.
Shit. I don't get it, man.
Yeah, I mean it's a sad, fucked up ordeal, and I mean, like I said in the beginning, I really wish people would, like, hop off the tin-foil hat Kool-Aid conspiracy Kool-Aid train, like I had told you previous. If somebody comes out, like an actual forensic scientist actually comes out and says, oh, here's why I think it was more than one person, then I'm more apt to believe it. But like I said, sure, I think dude could have brought it all up there, and people didn't start hearing the gunshots or actually acting like there were gunshots for a minute or two. So it would have taken about all of a couple seconds to shoot through the glass, considering the guns he had, and then just start shooting people. So to these people out here, like, I'm no forensics evidence person, and I'm sitting here debunking your multiple shooter theory. Just people, please, like, take off the tinfoil hat, put the Kool-Aid down. Pour the Kool-Aid down the sink, please.
I know that's a waste of sugar, but it's okay.
Like, please, like, just don't stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Think for yourselves. Don't listen to what Alex Jones told you or something like that. Just think for yourself. If you wholeheartedly believe yourself that it was a government cover up and the government helped them, all the more power to you. All the more power to you. And until I see further evidence or some, because I know the government won't give us the answer, and it's like I said on the podcast yesterday, Sid Jones. Here's the thing, though. The reason most of the time, especially the government's not going to give people the right answer is because most people are too fragile to deal with the real answer anyways. I think that's why, honestly, still 9/11 is still a hot subject in some people's minds. And even when it comes to, people wondering why the government hasn't, like, really fully given a full up statement other than the one they have about it. It's because for some of these people to learn the real truth, it'd be too unsettling for you anyways.
Yeah.
And if what I'm saying is bothering you, you're probably one of those people. If your feels are hurt by the things me and my co-host say, you're probably one of those people.
Gotta be. I bet you have a bowler haircut, you believe in God, and you carpool with the other soccer moms too, don't you?
But I honestly, I really can't see how we can really make any more out of this subject, guys. I might make another video on it some more, depending on how it goes, on the Blunt Atheist channel. You guys go check that out. If you want, like, share, and subscribe to that. Like, share, and subscribe to this. There's a PayPal link. There will be a PayPal link in the bottom of this if you guys want to donate money, because we're trying to get better equipment. Second topic, we're going to talk about this whole taking a knee and the president and the NFL and stuff. I guess to give my background with it. My thing is this. Do I think it's unpatriotic for them to take a knee? Yes. Do I agree with it myself? No. That being said, where I don't like this whole thing is with the president is I love how he tweets, oh, well, fire him and blah, 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 blah. But yet you can see pictures of him where he doesn't have his hand on his heart when the national anthem's going on. And I just can't help that he seems like a hypocrite. It's like, how are you going to sit and tell people not to do something when you're not doing about that same thing yourself? You're a hypocrite. Shut your mouth and get off Twitter and start running our country.
Me? I've always thought that America was a fake notion. I thought it's a real country with real people. But the notion of America is about as fake as the titties that we produce these days. And I love America. I don't love some of the people who run it. I don't love some of the ways we run things. But I can honestly say that I love my country and the people in it. Do I feel you need to stand up? Yeah, I think you should. I think you should at least take some kind of pride in the fucking land you live in, And maybe the ideals that you support are crushed by men who run this country, making you feel that your faith in this country is misplaced. Therefore, you take a knee to show people that. And that is your right. It is your right to take a knee to let people know that you're upset about things. No one's denying you that right. But for the sake of for the sake of fucking Betty Ross, she sewed that flag together for a reason, because she believed that this is what we stand for. Maybe those views that we stood for have been lost to time, because now all we care about is what Donald Trump has tweeted recently. But that doesn't mean you should lose faith in what you're standing for. That is why you stand. You stand for indifference. You stand for justice. You stand for liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and all that shit. You sit because you're upset, or you take a knee because you want people to know that it's not all good. And no, I think that letting people know you're upset is, I guess, important to some extent, but using the American flag and what it stands for to provoke, or using the American flag and what it stands for to validate your anger is not okay. And I think that's about what kneeling at the flag should be about. You shouldn't kneel during something that stands for more than just you and your petty little anger issues. Oh man, lesbian, gay, transsexual, bisexual people aren't gonna be able to vote in the future. I'm mad. I'm gonna kneel during the flag because I hate America. Bitch, it's not about America, okay? It's about some people who just feel a certain way about some other people. But you don't gotta hate your goddamn flag for that, because it's still there. When tomorrow, when you're gonna protest why children can't wear a certain style of clothes in school, and you're gonna kneel for the flag at that too. And then Trump's going to make a stupid decision that's going to look really dumb. And you're going to kneel at the flag for that too. Does it sound to me like it should be someone else's fault and not the flag's fault? Because it really does to me. Maybe we understand that you're upset about something and you want to let the world know. But don't ever fucking bring the pride of this nation and its fellow soldiers who took a bullet for you to have this shit, you know, and you just want to take a knee like, I don't like America right now. I'm just gonna take a knee. Get the fuck out.
Well, my thing is this. Like, I think people. I'll go into it after this, but it's along the same lines. I equate it as the problem with free speech too. The problem is, like, I agree with what you said, and it boils down to, it has a lot to do with the national anthem too. People are kneeling during the national anthem, but what a lot of people, I think, seem to forget is the national anthem was wrote by somebody who wasn't a patriot. And, like, yes, the flag was made by an American, but no, the national anthem wasn't. And if we want to talk about, like, personal freedoms, like, yes, do I personally think if they want to protest, you have that right to protest. But then here's the thing, but you're protesting, you don't incur the right then to not take shit for it, to not take flack for it, to not, you know, to have somebody else feel, you know, injustice with that.
Well, let's get a little deeper into the whole flag thing. What is your opinion on them flag steppers that put the Paul challenge, where they take a step on the flag on the floor and then they raise their fists like, and that's some social justice warrior shit.
It is, see, and that's the problem with a lot of this. See, and that's the problem with this whole thing, is it's like, you know, like, I mean, I've been telling this to people. The problem is these social justice warriors and these feminists, they're starting to integrate themselves into the government and into the news medias and into power positions in itself. And some of what they're beginning to say, no matter how insane it sounds to rational people, it's starting to get through to modern society, and it's starting to take an impact. I mean, next these people want to have it so that if you call somebody the wrong pronoun, they're going to throw you in jail because you called the she that feels like a he a she, and they feel butthurt and offended by that, and they want to put you in jail for it. And I just think that's way too far and bogus. And that's the problem. That's the type of people we're dealing with this whole situation. And it's causing a divide. You have these Americanized, pro-America, probably, pro-army, type people, and they're clashing with these, bleeding heart, far left, social justice liberals, and they're creating a divide in people. This is what the government wants. Like, we need to put aside like what you are politically. We don't have to be the same politically or a lot of things. We don't have to be the same sex. We don't have to be the same. We don't have to, we don't have to like the same stuff. Not, there's a reason why individual. I miss when people embraced individuality of, people had the sentiment of, well, I'm glad I'm different than everybody, that I have unique characteristics and qualities, because that used to be a prideful thing, that it was like that. And it seems like that's fading and dying away, because now if you don't fit into, the certain, like, if you don't fit into the certain makeup of these certain types of, butthurt people, then it's just like down with you and fuck you and all this stuff.
Well, it's true that people are becoming less of, the pride in being a snowflake, but at the same time, everyone is starting to get rich for setting their farts on fire. At the same time, as much as individualism is disappearing, people are getting famous for being lowlifes now, and then they become rappers, or they become talk show hosts, or they become. There's a real problem with rampant idiot. See, fucking idiocracy, man.
We're living it.
Well, it's not just we're not just living it because the dumb people are winning, or because the dumb people are populating the earth more than the smart people. What the real problem is, people are letting it happen. The smart people are just sitting here. I mean, I realize that due process is necessary for the legal way to do things, so that we can say we did things in a humane way. We solved problems in a logistical, humane, coerce way, but coerce. That's a word most Americans don't understand. We're losing our intelligence for stupid reasons, because everyone's trying to prove. Everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants to say their points right. And then going back to the social justice warrior shit. They're the kind of people who think that everything that comes out of their mouth is both logical and better than everyone else's. Like, everyone thinks their shit doesn't stink nowadays. And the planet's getting pretty fucking smelly. Your shit does smell, America. Your shit stinks.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, and this is where I'm coming with the second part. To me, that there's people that say it doesn't intertwine with free speech. Yes, it does. It's part of, like, okay, here's the thing. It's like I was saying. Do you have the right to kneel if you want? Yes. The same soldiers that go out and fight, they fight for your freedom. And what people seem to forget is that freedom includes your freedom to protest, even with a message that most people wouldn't agree with. So in a sense, it is like free speech. I made a video about this, and I guess, you know, I'm going to parrot what I said on that. People want free speech, but they don't want other people's free speech to offend them, or they don't want their other people's free speech to go against what they're saying. They only want the free speech when it goes to help them, when it goes to aid them. Free speech works both ways. If you're going to want free speech, don't be a hypocrite and just be like, well, only my free speech should count, or only what I should say counts. No. Free speech goes both ways, motherfuckers. It works in the way of, there's going to be opinions that said that you don't like, and there's going to be opinions that you like. You have to take it both ways. And I just really wish people would come to grips with this. The same, you know, the same song, the national anthem, and the same flag, that all stands, you know, and the troops that they go fight for that, and the freedoms that it brings. Yeah, that same freedom, people are quick to forget that all that means it's going to go to aid people doing stuff that you don't care for. You know, even when it comes to, like, it could be 95% of America doesn't like, you know, some new protest that's going on, but to the 5% that matters, and they have, you know, because of those freedoms, it may not be a smart protest. It may be utterly, you know, insipid and stupid, but at the same time, the troops just as much fought for them to be able to do that too. I think people are losing sight of that. It's the same thing with free speech. You know, if you want to go live in your safe space, and, you know, and go cry to your mommy and daddy, go live in your fucking safe space and don't ever come out. Otherwise, there's always gonna be people with a different opinion that to yours, you know, and unfortunately, if their opinion actually is deemed to be more factual than yours and makes your opinion look dumb and stupid, well, then either, I guess, you can still hold that opinion and look stupid, or you can evaluate and assess, look at the facts of the situation or the argument, and adjust accordingly. You know, it's one reason, like I said, like, I'll say it again, it's one reason I'm atheist right now. As far as, you know, as religions go, I don't see proof, a lot of proof to you know, there being a verified proof of there being any sort of God. Now, if I was to get, like, if God was to come to me and prove himself, or we were to get some indisputable evidence of this fact, then yes, I would change my mind accordingly. I would do this with other fields. I guess I was just using my atheism as a topic of reference. People, like, get, you know, that's why I've always said, align yourself with the argument that has the most facts and reason behind it. Please try to use more facts and reasonings yourself. Be more logical yourself.
Well, logic has seemed to disappear these days because people want to be right about everything. Like you said, if you find out you're wrong, accept the facts and rethink your thinking. But now everyone just, they want to be stuck on what they were caught with their pants down saying. You know, it's like they don't want to change their views. And I stick with what I said, that I believe you should stand up just because of how much I love this country. But it is, however, their right to kneel and let America know that they're butthurt. Like, but that's why you should stand, though, because while you're sitting there, or while you're kneeling there, thinking that lesbians need more private bathrooms, or transvestites need to be, which would be really cool. You know, if we started accepting everybody, I think that'd be really cool. But, like, you got to kneel down there. So while you're kneeling down there, you should be able to think, you know what, this country lets you kneel. If you were in Kazakhstan, your fucking head would be chopped off right now. You know, if you were in Saudi or anywhere else, they would not be cool with this. But America says, go ahead and kneel. We got you. You're still singing our anthem, right? We got you, fam. Go ahead and kneel. You know what? In fact, lay your whole ass out. Spread eagle on the ground and sing. But keep singing. Because as soon as you stop singing, then you can get the fucking. You know, it's like, yeah, we get it. It doesn't matter how you feel about your country. Just love your country and kneel if you got it. But for fuck's sake, don't forget why you're singing that song in the first place. The national anthem. And, you know, I honestly just think labels are always ways to separate us, whether it be atheist or agnostic or whatever. Gay, straight, lesbian. All the fucking genders they've thought of now. They're just ways to make you feel different, and that's okay. It's okay to be different. Like, people shouldn't be mad about other people's opinions because maybe they're unfactuated, maybe they are factuated, maybe they're proven, maybe they're not. Don't hate someone for something you don't understand. Because that's the whole fucking reason aliens haven't come to visit us yet. They're looking down at us like, oh, yeah, no. Hey, Phil, you want to go down there? Nah, man. Nah, I'm good. We'll just sit up here watching them for a few hundred more years. See if they can grow up. Truth.
Oh yeah, I've always been with like a friend of mine. We came up with a theory, you know. We've always thought, you know, the smart ones, they see us and they're like, well, these people are genocidal and homicidal and maniacal and, you know, like why should we go down to that? Like the smart ones, why would they want to? If they were smarter than us, why would they want to? And the dumb ones, they can't.
Because the smart ones won't let them. No, don't. You don't know. You don't want to go down there, man. Why not? Die. But they look friendly. No.
Watch out, the priest. No, Fred. No, the priest will touch your children.
He's so horny. He's such a horny old bastard. Please don't do it.
Actually, speaking of that, I heard that one of the episodes of Ancient Aliens, I guess, got debunked because they found a scroll on papyrus paper that was over 4,000 years old that showed drawings and writings about how they would have actually transported the type of stone that they say didn't exist in Egypt to Egypt. And I guess that George, last name with a T guy that always says aliens, I guess he's in a hotbed of shit right now.
Well, I mean, you want to make a TV show and squirt that disgusting fucking hairdo. You gotta have the facts, bud.
I mean, does that go to say that, you know, like all those episodes are wrong? No, I don't think so. I myself, no. I'm still a firm believer that there's extraterrestrial life and there's things that are on this earth that humans probably didn't make. But in that instance, I'm hoping myself, like I'm hoping when they actually do actually release the data more to the public, I'm actually myself wanting to read it over and look it over and see it all. It seems very interesting. I just kind of thought since we went off on the aliens tangent, I'd bring that up.
Well, can't have a universe this big and not have extraterrestrial life. And maybe they didn't know that what they were saying. Well, what exactly did he say again that was debunked?
The show itself was, I mean, one of the shows they had done that they said that it was that that accordingly to these astronaut theorists, you know, like they go on about that, you know, this was done by this was more than likely done by aliens because of how the pyramids, you know, the three of them line up in, you know, perfect symmetry. And like they were saying that, like, well, how could humans like lift these huge big stones and place them into like perfect synchronicity so that it would look just the way it does and stuff, and then come to find out that they have, you know, paperwork showing, you know, how this stuff was logged into being brought over on these ships. I haven't read any of it myself. I just heard about this from a
The
source.
pyramids were brought over by ships?
No. The stones they used to build the pyramids.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess they were saying that at least for the Great Pyramid of Giza, at least that one, which I'm pretty sure the other pyramids were made out of the same stone.
Yeah.
But they said that one in general, that the type of stone that it was, they say didn't exist in Egypt, and so that's why people were speculating. That's why people were so on the aliens
Right, but
theory.
they found out.
But now they found a charter and mapping to where this stone does exist, and that they were bringing it over on this 4,000-year-old papyrus paper. I myself, I haven't read the article to it, or I haven't seen any of the videos on it. I just got a quick synopsis of the whole thing.
Ancient, but then ancient aliens had to be like, yeah, we're sorry. We had this whole episode on how the Pyramid of Giza was something so astronomically impossible that aliens had to do it. Our bad.
I don't think they made them that I know of. I don't think they made a statement actually withdrawing it. I'm just saying, like, this paper basically goes to debunk that episode.
And that's the fun part about being a scientist, is getting to admit that you're wrong, because then you're excited about being wrong, because then the truth is there. You know, it's like, so that's the truth. Yes, now we're one step close. We're one step closer, one step farther, one step ahead. And believing that we are the only planet inhabitable, the only planet in the Goldilocks zone, the only planet out of more planets than there are grains of sand on the Earth. And you think that we're that we're it, that we're the special ones, that your God created this whole vast fucking universe just for you. It's all yours, buddy. Here you go. No. I mean, no. And that's why I think that there was a lot of happenings in the 70s, right? Like the black mailbox, the Area 51. There's a whole bunch of shit happening in the 1950s to 1970s. And all of a sudden, 1980s and on, not even so much as a cave dwelling. It's because they came to our planet. They're like, all right, let's see what we got here. Oh shit! Back up. Nope, not shows that try to prove stuff like that, their evidence is going to be shifted quite a few times as we learn more and more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
Well, guys, It's all good. I mean, I figured since we did go off into the tangent, I would introduce, if you hadn't been privy to that information, I figure I would introduce you to such information and then expound on the topic.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been another episode of the Comatose Society podcast. Hope you guys
Pretty good.
Hope you guys liked the episode. Again, like I said, you can follow me at the Blunt Atheist. That's the Blunt Atheist on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe that if you do. I also have my PayPal link donation at that. If you feel so inclined, please like, share, and subscribe the Comatose Society podcast. With both channels, I'm going to be doing more and more as time goes on. So don't worry. Once again, hope you guys liked what you've seen. Come back for more. This has been Sean from the Comatose Society.
And Brian.
See you guys.
Later.